Welcome back, guys. My name is Python Financial. Today's task is a continuation on when dealing with Microsoft Excel. A continuation on Microsoft Excel formulas. So today we are going to deal with count if formula. Guys, before I go further with today's task, I would like to encourage you guys to subscribe to my channel, to Mr. Python Financial Office Tutorials, so that you will keep watching these fantastic tutorials. Guys, as I have already said earlier, that today's task is on count. We're going to do with the formula of count if. So count if starts with the equal sign as any formulas in Microsoft Excel. So we say equal to, then let count if. You're going to ask yourself, so what's the use of this count if formula? So count if formula is used to count a certain values in your data based on the criteria you have given to your Excel formula. For example, here we have this product. I'm on the product column, right? Here, product column. This product column, it contains different kind of products: wines, olives, ham, and whatsoever it is. So here we want to have we have say equal count if. Then because you want to count a certain value, for example, here I want to count only olives from the product column. So I want to count only those olives. How many olives are there in the product column? So here we're gonna write we're going to write the range of our data. For example, where that olives is in. So here we're going to write the range from where there is from C3 to C16, like that. I'm going to writing out that that range. I'm gonna press comma like that. Then we're going to press the criteria what we want to count, right? So I have already said that I want to count the olives. How many olives are there in that product column? So I'm gonna press this one, double quotes like that. Then I will write olives like that. Olives. Then press another double quotes like that. Then cross bracket like that. So now I will go through the formula so that we will be together. No one else will be left behind. We said we pressed equal, then we say count if, then we have pressed the open bracket, we press the range of data like that. We say C3 to C16 like that. We press comma and we press the double quotes. Then we press the value we want to count. For example, here we are counting olives, number of olives, right? So how many olives are there in this product column? So we say olives, then press another double quotes and then cross bracket and you press enter like that. See, now Microsoft Excel has counted the numbers of olives that are present in this column, product columns, like that. It gives us the value of 7 like that. So we have one. Let me count physically: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like that. So we have 7 olives as I have counted physically. But this formula is very good applicable when the data is when we are dealing with the big data. So we are dealing with the big data and you are unable to count it physically like what I did here. So this formula is very applicable in that concept. And trust Excel. With these formulas, it can help you to analyze data, big data, simply, easily, and accurately. So guys, practice makes perfect. Keep in mind this formula, these skills will be helpful for you when working with Excel in different sectors. So that's the formulas of count if formula. So equal count if open bracket, we have pressed the range of where we have the data we want to count, then you comma, then you quotes, then we say olives, give the what we want to count. We write there another quotes and then cross bracket like that. That's the formula. So for example, we want to count only the numbers of ham, right? Gonna read that olives and write ham like that. See, and then press enter. Upon pressing enter, we're gonna see that Microsoft Excel has counted the number of ham. That there are 3 ham as a product in this product column, right? We have 1, 2, 3. That's it. Even you can change. You can press. Maybe you can press that. Maybe you want to count those of wine like that. You want to count wine, right? How many products? How many wines are in this column, right? We're gonna write that wine and say enter. You're gonna see I have counted the number of wine. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 wines in this product column. That's it. A count if is not only used in that way. There is another way. So another way of using count, it's the same. It's count the numbers. It count the values. For example, here we say equal and press our count, right count like that. count if not j if, but if count if, then we say or press our close, our open bracket, then we're going to write our range where we have that data like that, our range, press comma, double quotes like that. So here we're gonna press, we want to count only, for example here we want to count only those numbers that starts with s. So we want to count those numbers that those order IDs, we want to count only those order IDs that starts with s. So here we're gonna write s like that. We're gonna press star, star, not 8, star, and we're gonna press another quote, and then we're gonna press close bracket like that, and press enter. See, now it's giving us the value of 3, which means those order IDs that starts with s, there are 3 of them. We're gonna see here we have Spain 00110. Here we have Spain 2008, something like that. Here we have Spain 3005, something like that. So this is the order IDs that starts with s. There are 3 of them. So see our formulas here. There is a little bit different from the formula we were dealing with here. This formula we have introduced another criteria where we only introduce the value, the first letter. So when we only want to count those numbers that start with a certain value, we're gonna press that value here. Like we will write that formula as usual, as we write that one of before. But here where you want to press your criteria, you're gonna press s, then say you press star. Maybe you want to count a certain value that start with s, maybe that start with w. If you want to count those numbers that start with w, you're gonna press w, then star, then quote, another quote, and then close bracket like that, and press enter. You're gonna see that all those numbers, that's all those order IDs like here, order IDs that start with s, the Microsoft Excel has counted them. So maybe you are dealing with a huge number, so you can't even count them directly. So Excel can help you with that. It can count it accurately and a little bit faster as compared to what you can do yourself physically. So the thing is, that's it, how to count. So maybe you want to count those numbers, you want to count numbers that ends up okay, let me introduce another thing. Maybe you want to count numbers that start with those order IDs that start with 0, right? So we're gonna press where there is this, we're gonna write 0 like that, and press enter. You're gonna see now it's a 6. So those order IDs that starts with 0, there are 6 values in this order ID column. Even you can change there. Maybe you want to only count only those numbers that starts with I, right? You're gonna do that 0 and press I like that, and press enter. See, that's 1. So only one I, there's only one I, or one order ID that starts with I. So here it's only iterate, this one. That's why our Excel has given us only 1. That's it. So that's it. How when we do, that's it. On the macros, that's it. When using with when count formula, that's the formula of count. So in Microsoft Excel, we can even use this formula. Let me this formula. We are pressing star. You're gonna maybe ask yourself, why this star? This star, we press our criteria first, maybe the first letter, then we press the star. So this star comes because it represents that there is some other values that has been the hidden values. So here we have I. So for example, here we have iterate, right? But we have only introduced the first letter, so other values has been hidden. So all those letters, maybe there is we're going to have, maybe before we pressed S, right? We pressed the S like this one. So we had those letters that start with S, right? So this S means that there is S, there is some values in this order ID that start with S. For example, we're gonna have here we have Spain. Here we have Spain as well. Maybe if we had the data, a lot of data, maybe we're gonna have order ID that start with Spain, that start with Syria, start with Senegal, and whatsoever kind of ID or ID is it. But those order IDs that start with S, it's gonna be counted, including those different values that start with S, gonna be counted in this order ID column. That's it. But there's another thing, you can even count those numbers that ends up with a certain value, right? We're gonna add those values that ends up with a certain value. For example, let me use it here. We want to add those numbers, those values that ends up with a certain value. So for example here, the formula is the same. You say equal to count if, then you open bracket C3, that's the range of where we have the data we want to count, right? C3 to C16, like that. We press comma, then we press our quotes, like that. But now I have removed the one, right? Like that, double quotes, first double quotes. On the first double quotes, then we're gonna press our criteria. So this criteria, maybe I want to count, as I have already said, I want to count a certain value that ends up. I want to count a certain product. I want to count those products that ends up with S. So here I'm gonna press S. I'm gonna press star, like that, and S. And we're gonna press our double quotes and then cross bracket, like that, and press enter. See, has given us the value of 7, right? So which means those products values that end up with S have been counted. There are 7 of them. So we're gonna see 1, 2, 3, all of them that ends up with the S are 7. There are 7 of them. See here on our data, we have pressed the star at the beginning, then our criteria S. This is because we want only to count those values that end up with this number. As compared to this one, we pressed it here. We pressed the S and then the star, which means we're only counting those numbers that start with S. So if the X is in front of the criteria, the value we want to, if the X is in front of the criteria, which means that's the starting letter of the certain value in that column you are trying to count. If the value ends up with the starts with the X, which means that's the letter that is at the end of the certain value within your data you want to count, like that. So that's it, guys. That's it, guys. This is the formula for count if in Microsoft Excel. So guys, practice makes perfect, guys. You're gonna practice. You're supposed to practice so that we're gonna improve your skills. Just a reminder, guys, this formula is very important. Maybe when you are dealing with huge formulas, so this formula is gonna, you are dealing with huge data, this formula is gonna help you to deal with that kind of data. As a reminder, if you are not yet, subscribe to my channel, Mr. Python Financial Office Tutorials. Subscribe now so that you keep on watching these fantastic tutorials. Have a good day, guys.